I realized I didn't make a tutorial on how to do rigging. Or weight painting for that matter. So as you can see here, this is my Mercury model that I have already uploaded to VRChat. But as you can see, this one doesn't have his bones and has all the old stuff I put on it. But this is like the very first abbreviation before I did any changes and edited it, as you can tell. So I'm going to use him as a reference for bones. So every model is different, okay? When it comes to eyes, you're going to have something here, like a large ball, kind of like hang on, like this, essentially inside the character's head. And then you have the texture of the eye you want on it, so that way when you put in the eyes, the eye bones, it will rotate the whole thing and not mess it up and make it this just thing here, this turn. It's like fold like this, basically. That's what I did with mine. I didn't put in the proper thing in it, so it's just this piece. I thought about fixing it, and then I was like, you know what, I'm too lazy, and I already did everything, and maybe later when I'll update or some shit. But here, I'm just gonna show you how to do bones. Oh wait, you know what, I should probably put in a screencast. It's this thing I used, so you guys can see this. This is my reference, so we can hide that. Alright. So the first thing you want to do is go into 1, like numpad 1. Okay? Shift A, and you want to go. Alright, so here is what we're going to do. We're going to Shift A, and we're going to go down to Armature Single Bone. And we're going to enter edit mode, and we're going to call this little bone base, or whatever you want to call it, doesn't fucking matter. This is what I like to call it. Now, if you're doing this for VRChat, which I usually do, we want this bone to be closer to the ankles, kind of like that. Yeah, this model needs to move forward a bit. Hang on. I'm gonna do this properly. I need to grab this whole fucking thing. Don't mind me, just making sure he's centered. Okay, now we have everything. And right there. Okay. Pretend he was like that already. Alright, enter edit mode, do whatever. So you can have this thing up or down. Wait. Where is the thing? It should be report. There we go. Alright. So you can see in front. So I see some people have it up. I'm someone who likes to have it down personally and just out of the way. So that will be our base, and it's going to sit there, and that will be what helps us move the whole model if we need to. Never use it as your hips or whatever in Unity, because then you'll fuck it up and it'll be no fun. Because then you'll be like all over the place, and that's you don't want that. Alright. Now we just have another one. And we're just gonna. This will be our pelvis, so just add an area where you think the pelvis should be. I'm gonna put it right here. And I'm gonna move it forward a bit, go back a bit. And then I'm gonna add a spine, chest, upper chest, neck, head. Now you don't have to do this, you can get rid of the upper chest. You don't have to include it. I just do for my own sake because this is what I did for the model when I was working on it. So we just want this to move forward a bit, and we want this to move forward a bit, this back ish. this down. No, up. Move this back. Tiny bit forward. Alright. It doesn't have to be 1% perfect. Just as long as you know what part goes where. Now, if we want to rename something, we just press F2. And we're gonna name this for our own sake, so that way we know what each one does and which one each one goes to, and that way Unity isn't broken. Wrong button. Okay. So we're not going to worry about this side. You'll see why. Right, we're going to grab this little sucker, bring them up. You will go about right there. Now I have it aligned to where it'll be on his clavicle, almost like in the middle part of his clavicle, where it would be, and where his wrist would be. And then we just do this, subdivide. We do here, subdivide. That probably wasn't a good idea. Okay, let's do that again, but this time a little bit different. Alrighty. Let's see, we're going to guesstimate where the elbow shall be. Right about there. Alright. Now most people don't really give a damn about the shoulder, but I do, because the shoulder controls the arms. And who doesn't move their shoulder around? Okay, and mostly it helps with immunity stuff. And other things. So we're going to call it shoulder.L. The reason why we're calling it .L is so that way it knows, Blender knows that this is the left side. You'll see why we're doing this later. So make sure that everything you want has .L for this side. You're right, it's the armature's left. So that way you don't get confused. This is the model's left side, but our right. Because that's how Unity does it, and we don't want to fuck it up and be confused. So this is how we're gonna do, right? And I'm pretty sure if you actually looked at some models, you'll see that some of their bones are in fact the same thing. People name them different, like BIP or whatever. I don't do that. I like things to be simple and compact, not whatever the fuck they're doing. Yes, it has more variety and it looks nicer and better and blah 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 blah, but it's more complicated when you fucking buy the model because it's a piece of shit. Okay. So we're gonna move this down here. So that way we have a bit of a bend. The reason why we want this bend is so that way when the arm does move and bend around, it will know that this right here is the elbow. You can include an IK if you so desire to, but right now we're just doing just the bones. I'm not going to be all crazy with you and go like, oh my gosh, you don't necessarily have to do IKs, but it is useful when Blender is not certain how this should move. Okay. And now we have the hand. It's gonna move this up a bit. Like so. Move this down so it doesn't get confused anywhere. So how I like to do the fingers is pretty easy. I like to separate them from the hand in a sense. Now, here's where this part comes in. Where is it? Relations? Yep. We're gonna need this for this part. So we're gonna start with here. It doesn't matter what you want to name them, it could be literally anything, but for community's sake, you're going to want to make sure you have what you are looking for. Since I wasn't sure what to call this because the ring finger and pinker mixed together in here, because that's how the person who made this model had it, I decided to call it ring, so that's what we're going to call it because I feel comfortable with that. So we're just going to move it a little bit off. We are going to go to where the knuckles would be, which is right here. And we're going to call it whatever the fuck we want. I personally like to do this, and then we're going to subdivide it twice. And it'll look like this. So you're going to want to follow the bend of these fingers. So that way the model knows what you're trying to use. In what relation to what exactly. I'm not going to get these perfect, but I am going to get them to an extent of what I was looking for. This is a little bit off. I know I said I wasn't going to do that right, but whatever. I am a tiny perfectionist and that's just fucking what I do. Okay, so now we have this. Now here's the problem when it comes to this. When you do a duplication and put it over, you'll see down here it says connected to the lower arm. We do not want it connected to the lower arm, so we remove that and we type hand, select that, and now you'll see this black line that is connecting to this piece to the hand. The reason why we don't want that is because it will think that this bone is a parent, no, is the child of this bone. It'll be like, oh, I'm your parent, I control you, basically, but really it's this one that's the parent, and we don't want it to be confused with that because then they'll think it's the hand and blah 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 blah, technical bullshit, no one fucking cares. Okay. Now we're just gonna move this over, slide it up, readjust the bones to where we want them. Since this hand already has some areas that have bends, I like to match them up as best as possible if they are visible. And I would like to be as close to where the joints would move. So we don't want them to have the same name, so this would be middle, but people like to do middle upper, middle mid, middle lower, and I just find it kind of annoying, so I just do it middle, and I just name all that because it'll change from middle to 001 automatically, and I don't have to do any extra prep. And it's just what's comfortable for me personally. You can do whatever fuck you want. This is the index. We're just gonna move that a tiny bit over. Give me. Yeah, as you can see, I could grossly misinterpret how far it was gonna go. So we're just gonna readjust it. I can't see shit. Put that down there. Don't worry about the size. If you keep moving the bones around, it will eventually get to the size you want it. As long as what you're trying to do matches what your model is, you're fine. Index to L, we're going to call them all the same fucking thing because it will add the numbers. And I'm just doing this quickly as fast as I can so that way I can show you why I'm calling them L's and not R's, and the purpose for that is, okay, I'm gonna move this one down here. Now the reason why I didn't copy all three with this bone is because of how it is with the thumb, but that's just my own reason of doing things personally. Alright, we're gonna grab you, put you there, put you right there-ish. I need you to move down And well, actually more down. You'll become fuck. I always press the wrong key when it's dark. L, and then we'll subdivide again. Now we're just gonna move it into place. You just want it to get in the middle of the bone you're trying to create. You don't want it to be on top or on the bottom, you just want to be in the middle. So that way it'll realize what you're trying to do. Of course, you're going to have parts like this right here. Don't worry. You can attach it to thumb and hand and it'll look fine. Just, it's a weight paint thing. You'll understand eventually once I make another video of that. Alright. So, I'm going to show you how I do eyes in here. Just go boop boop. Put them there. Oh yeah, I forgot that was all fucked up. Alright, well, who cares? This is the older version anyway, so it doesn't really fucking matter. Oh wait, that's right, I don't do that anymore. So, I personally just do this, and just put it right where the eye would be. Everyone has their own way of doing things, this is mine. I find that doing like this prevents the eye from being all wonky, and doesn't fucking go inside out for whatever reasons. I don't know why it likes doing that, it just does. When it comes to a flat 2D texture like this, it's hard to get it inside, so just get it like just behind it. Sort of, yeah. Most people have it in the back here, others have it like all the way up here, some of them have like double the bone like that, and they have it facing a different way, where the tail's that way. The tail's the small part, the big part's the head. So yeah. So when it comes to eyes, you don't want them attached to the neck, you want them attached to the head. And usually you want two of these things. So you're going to call them I.L. And you'll see why we're not doing much else. You can also add bones here, which is pretty easy to do, and bones down here, which I did on my other model. You'll see how that looks later. Just not right now. This is just generic bullshit. But if you are going to do hair with different bones, I do recommend doing this and making a hair base. And it would be connected to the head, like so, and it'll be called hair base. And you will connect all the little hair pieces to it, so that way if you try to do fizz bones, all you gotta do is collect this one. You don't have to do each individual piece, which helps you a lot when you're exporting into PC Quest. It is so useful and I love having it, and I'm glad I discovered it when I did. Now we're going to do the exact same thing with the legs. And if I talk too fast, I do apologize. I do that when I am rushing and when I'm constantly thinking. You're literally hearing what goes through my brain right now every time when I am making these models and rigging them up. I just think to myself consistently, and this is what my brain does constantly. Just snap, 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 snap. It's like I never stop fucking talking, which is funny because how I often do not talk at all. Subdivide, and you want to grab this piece and you want to bend it like this. And it's the same reason for the elbow here. What the fuck is... What the fuck? You know what? That doesn't matter. Who fucking cares? What matters is the fucking rigging, alright? This is an old part of the model, who cares? The other one is way better. Okay. So you want this bone to be as close to the ankle as possible. And we're gonna name this called upper leg.L. And then lower leg.L. That is wrong. L. You can also do lowercase. I just like to do uppercase because I'm a little bit of a Nazi on that, because that's just me. Why? There we go. Alright, so this is for the foot here. We're going to bend it down to about there where we will find like the toe joints. You don't have to do toe joints, but people like having them. I personally do them because that's just how I learned it. And you just want to just press Y, and you just want to But that way, and there you go. You got your little toe bones, little toesies. Some people like to have multiple because they're fucking weirdos. I am not one of those people. Did I name these? Yes, I did. So we're gonna call this fuck off, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna call this not fought, but L. And then I always press fucking F3. Here comes toes dot L. Now right here, this is where this part comes in. Its parent will be the base. And this is why it will be the base. Because it will move all of this, and if you went into pose mode, it will do the exact same thing. And the reason why the leg isn't following is because it's not parented yet, and it needs to be parented to the pelvis. Like so. Okay. And let's see, I'm not going to do much else other than this. This is just generic building. So now that we have this, we're going to select all of it. And we're going to right click. And we're going to go down here to where it says symmetrize. And watch what happens. Now this usually only works if the model is symmetrized. And this is what it does. Ta-da! So now we don't even have to bother with doing the same thing on the left side. Well, right side. But same difference. It'll keep the connections. It will work as well. And if you have problems with weight painting, that is a different story and a different thing, and I will help you on that later. But this is how I rig up models with just bones. See? Of course, they're not going to be automatically weight painted. But watch what happens when I do automatically weight paint it. So let's grab, let's just say let's grab this piece, right? Control P, and we're just gonna do with automatic weights. As you can see, the model has changed. So I wouldn't personally rely on automatic weight paints too much because it kind of gets a little finicky, kind of get a little fucky wucky. So as you can see, it looks totally fine, right? But I won't do that for everything. Because there'll be some things that it's not supposed to be attached to. But so far, it's turning out decently. Sort of. But it did pretty well for automatic weights. And I might have spoken a little bit too soon. Right, I forgot to fucking... I forgot to parent the shoulders like a dum-dum. Okay, for shoulders, we're going to want to pair them to the upper chest. And if you don't have an upper chest, that is fine. Just pair them to the chest. Same thing with titties, chest, upper chest, doesn't fucking matter. As long as they're parented to the right place, it is totally fine. And there we go. Now we'll see how well it does. Yeah. Pretty much the same. Ta-da! And that's how you do that. And I just showed you how to do automatic weight paints. Don't trust it though. Don't trust it. And if you wanted to fix them, all you have to do is go to the thing that says data. It's a little green triangle that's upside down. And you'll look at here and you'll see all your weights. Where it goes. You never want to have the base weight painted because it's not important. Just like the head base bone, not the hair base bone, you don't want that weight painted either. You just want it to exist so that way it can control the other things. But that is a different thing. And you can see all of them here. Let's look at the lower arm. Weight paint, and yeah, that's how it's gonna look. Pretty nifty, huh? I'm actually surprised how well this worked. Normally, automatic weight painter is a piece of shit. Yeah, that's pretty much it.